Zed stopped his car in the middle of the road one afternoon and started running. He was running and shouting for help. There were many passersby, but nobody seemed to care, as nobody was pursuing him. He was seriously crying and was saying, "Take everything you gave me and let me be." For the past few weeks, Zed has been moving from one prayer center to another, from one prophet and witch doctor to another, in search of solution to a problem he brought to himself. He knew he had few weeks to live, so he was searching for an alternative. Zed was the third son out of a family of 5 boys. He had 2 elder brothers and 2 younger brothers. They were single-handedly raised by their father, because their mother died early. Edwin, Zed's father, was a very patient and responsible man. He understands the idea of God's time. Though he lost his lovely wife at early stage of their marriage, but he did not remarry because he knew he had limited resources to cater for his family. He was a welder. One thing Edwin did as a father was that he ensured that all his sons graduated from secondary school. After secondary school, he would give them different skill sets to choose from. He ensured that all his sons get a skill after school, so as to sustain themselves on the long run. His first son, Joe, retained his father's skill as a welder. They were working and supporting the family together. Joe was determined to maintain their father's legacy. Zed, the third son, has always been a stubborn child right from the primary school. After secondary school, he chose to learn how to make furniture. Edwin paid without hesitation. Zed was troublesome, always having problems with his boss. His attitude made his father to be very harsh on him. Edwin was ready to caution Zed anytime. Sometimes he hits Zed, sometimes he lets his brothers hit him. Zed managed to stay to the end because of his father. After Zed's apprenticeship, Edwin raised some money to settle him. He set up a small furniture shop for Zed. Zed did not learn how to be patient from his father. He thought that once he gets his own furniture shop, he would become as rich as his boss. He was always frustrated, always complaining and blaming everybody or everything around him. When he was an apprentice, he followed his boss to many working sites, mostly rich men's houses. He dreamt of being as rich as those men, no matter what it takes. When he realized that things were not moving as expected, he decided to step up his game. He joined some street boys to do illegal business. He started selling meth. He used his furniture shop as a cover-up. He was making a lot of money from the meth business. He knew that his father would not condone any form of illegal business, so he moved out of the house. He rented a bedroom apartment for himself. Edwin noticed the drastic change in Zed's life and business. He knew that something was wrong. He called Zed and sat him down. He tried talking sense into him, but Zed denied that he did not put hands in anything. Edwin used so many people as an example to tell Zed that nothing surpassed patience. All the advice from his father fell on a deaf ear. Having known that his father knew about his illegal business, he stopped being afraid of his father. Zed bought his first car, Lexus 350. That ride was too big for a new furniture maker. This exposed him more, and convinced those that were doubting his source of income. Zed got addicted to clubbing, because he gets most of his clients from the club. He shut down his furniture shop. Money really changed Zed. He lost respect for his elder brothers. He even stopped coming home, so that his father would not question him. He bragged a lot, and always talked about how much he had. People began to call him, Zed, Mr. Money, because of the manner he spends money. Out of jealousy, one of his friends snitched him. Zed was arrested by EFCC. All his money and properties were confiscated. Zed was sent to 6 months jail, after being exposed by EFCC. When he was released, his rent had expired and his landlord moved out his properties. Most of them have spoiled. Zed reached out to his colleagues to supply him meth, to continue his business, but they all refused because his face has been cast all over the internet, which means that both the EFCC and police have eye on him. At a time, Zed became frustrated. He decided to move back to his father's house. His father accepted him. Zed has become confused. None of his brothers, both elder and younger, cared about him. Even his younger brothers have been settled by their father. His immediate younger brother and immediate elder brother has been admitted in the university. They were training themselves. His father has retired from his welding job. Joe, his eldest brother, was doing well in his welding job. His last brother was just settled as a tailor, so he was still struggling to stand strong. Zed was the only jobless person in his family. He noticed that all his brothers were struggling, so nobody has touched up to the amount he made while selling meth. He knew he still has a chance to compete with his brothers, but the problem is how to start because his father has retired and was not ready to set up another shop for him. His brothers don't give him a dime, no matter how much he pleaded. He barely go outside. He was so ashamed of what people would say. One day, he had a misunderstanding with his younger brother and he called Zed a jobless prodigal son. His father did not say anything. Two of them sustained injuries from the fight. The boy took himself to the hospital, but Zed did not go to hospital because he had no money and none of his brothers nor father would give him any dime. After that incident, Zed started thinking on how to bounce back. He started going to clubs. Most of his friends has forsaken him, but he did not stop. He continued clubbing because he was looking for connections. One day, Zed met SKD, his former colleague. Zed begged SKD not to forsake him too. He begged and cried until SKD accepted to help. He bluntly told Zed that there was nothing left in the street. If he had enough liver, he should come the next day. Zed understood that SKD was talking about ritual and he has made up his mind to do whatever it takes to get money. The next day, he met SKD. SKD took him to Ozio confraternity. Zed was promised so much money but on a condition that he would live to enjoy the money for just 10 years. Zed accepted immediately because he thought 10 years was far and he was just 26 years old. After the ritual, Zed was given 1 billion naira, which would be renewed every month. He hurried to buy a house and cars. He also bought a car for his father, but Edwin rejected it. Zed knew he had 10 years to live, so he decided to get married and start having kids early. He got married to Jenny, a crazy gold digger he met in a club. Jenny got pregnant 3 times in a year but lost all through miscarriages. After 7 years, Jenny has had more than 15 miscarriages. She got tired and divorced him. Zed never knew that the money given to him was meant for him only. He was not supposed to have children. Zed got tired of money as he had only 3 years to live. All his brothers had graduated from the university. His 2 younger brothers, now married and live in Canada with their families. His 2 elder brothers were already married with kids. They all have made money and living a good and peaceful life. Also, some of his furniture colleagues have also become rich with their families. Zed hid his face whenever he sees his mates he taunted because of money, doing better than him. On his 8th year, SKD died because his time was up. Zed lost his happiness. He has money but he knew that his days are numbered. He feels sad whenever he woke up, because every new day draws him closer to his grave. He slept with so many women to know if any of them could bear a child for him, but it did not work. On the 10th year, Zed was told that he would die on his birthday. Few months to his birthday, he left his house, moving from one prayer house to another to know if the vow would be denounced, but there was no solution. On his 36th birthday, he was in his GLK when his court chief told him his time was up. He abruptly stopped his car in the middle of the road, jumped out and started running. Nobody cared to help him. He was still running and shouting. Suddenly, an incoming truck ran over him. Zed's body was totally smashed that people had to pack his debris in a sack. Zed died before his father. He was faster than his shadow. He thought he was enjoying life, but when he's supposed to enjoy life, his mistake robbed him. Be patient. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel.